Okay, so I should be live.
Should be. Let me
Okay,
have a quick look. Yeah, that's you showing now.
okay,
Yeah, spot on. So just yeah, you should be showing there now. So
okay.
yeah, I'll turn it over now for you.
All right, cheers, mate. Thank you.
No worries.
Ta-ra.
All right.
Okay, good evening. Thank you for joining me. My name's Andy Watmuff. I am a specialist in movement for people with joint pain. I'm going to take you through a series of movements this evening, which you can do at home in the comfort of your own home. A couple of things before we start. Just make sure you've got something comfortable on your feet, depending on what flooring you have. I'm stood on a laminate floor, so I've actually got my trainers on. But again, if you're on your carpet and you've just got your socks on or your slippers on, I don't want you slipping. What we're going to be doing today is we're going to be working. I'm going to show you the exercises. I will be moving around with my chair. Okay, so what you will need is you'll need a good sturdy kitchen chair. If you've got a latex band, fantastic. If you haven't, we can do the exercises and the movements without the latex band. And through the time that we've got together, there'll be a little bit of time in between. So I'll be basically moving my chair around, maybe so you can see me from behind, so you can see some of the movements that I'm going to make. So please don't need to move yours. Without further ado, I think we'll get cracking. Okay, you can see we've got a timer on that side. Okay, if you've got TheraBands, okay, you've got a different level of strength, and generally we're looking at yellow bands are the easiest ones. Okay, then we're moving on to red and green, and generally the one with the most resistance is the blue band. Okay, which I'll be using tonight. So if you've got a band, great. If not, we can mimic those exercises. So what I'll do is I'll start our timer. I'm just picking up a message here from somebody asking, they're on Facebook, don't have an invite, what do I do, please? If anybody's listening from Keithley Healthy Living, if you can just text me and I can text Mandy what to do, that would be great. I'm just going to ask her to go on Keithley Healthy Living's Facebook page. Okay, so our first exercise, and we're going to be working for 40 seconds, is when I pick it up, get my timer on. Okay, you'll see the clock counting down. We're going to do a sit to stand exercise. Okay, so you lay the timer. Okay, and all you're going to do is try and get out of the chair nice and slowly. If you can get your hands across your chests, fantastic. If you can't and you need to push up for now, then you can push up. And all we're going to do is do that at your own pace for the 40 seconds. Up we come, and down we go. Okay, focusing on your breathing as well. Okay, if you need to stop, you can stop. It's not imperative that you go for the whole 40 seconds. Up we come.
3, 2,
and we're going to stop that one there. Okay, I'm going to pause the timer there for a second. Okay, and I'm going to move you on to the next one. There are some exercises and movements that I can't show you because of equipment, but there are things that you can do at home yourself. So again, this is one that we can't do in the class, which is a step up exercise. Normally in my classes out in the community and here and there, we use little steppers that people step up onto. So we're just going to do a back stretching exercise, which we'll do again after we've done most of the knees and hips. Okay, so we're going to do that. I'm going to let you have a little count in. Okay, so you want to be from where I am now. Okay, we'll wait for the timer to go. So we've got 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and you're going to arch your back. A good way to do this if you're at home is get against the wall. Okay, and just come forward, stretch forward, and arch your back, and easily come forward. Okay, and we're going to arch again, and again focusing on your breathing while you're doing this. Up we go, and we're coming to the end of that 40 seconds. Okay, so grab yourself a rest. Make sure you've got some water with you. Okay, it's imperative that we have some water. And like I said, if you need to rest, make sure that you rest. Okay, I hope everybody's okay with that one. Okay, our next exercise is going to be a wall slide. Okay, that's the exercise that we're going to do next. So you need to be up against, I'm going to probably move my briefcase and go up against my fridge freezer door, okay, so I don't knock the posters off the wall. Okay, so if you can see that one, I'll just move the chair out of the way. Okay, I'm going to set the timer. We've got 10 seconds until we go. So nice and flat back against the wall or the door. If you're going to use the door, make sure it doesn't open so you fall through it. Make sure it's shut. Okay, and nobody can come through it. You're just going to slide down at your ease and drive yourself back up. So sliding down, again focusing on your breathing and pushing your body weight back up and the resistance of your clothing against the wall, the door or the fridge freezer, and up we come. So we're halfway through this 40 seconds and you're going to push up. Again, it's imperative that we keep a nice straight spine while we're doing this. And down we come. And you've got 3 seconds left.
3, 2, 1.
Okay, and we're going to rest there. Okay, I hope you found that we're okay. Okay, our next exercise. Okay, we're going to move this one onto a back exercise because the knee and hip one is just a shuttle walk across a room, which is easy to do in a community venue, but not so easy to do in your apartment or your kitchen. Okay, but we all walk each and every day, and it's just about the turn as you're walking across the hall. But we're going to do lower back strengthening. Okay, there's 2 ways we can do this. Okay, we can do it stood up or we can do it sat down. We have got a variation of this when we come on to the backs, I think. Okay, so from this position we've got 10-second counting, and I'll show you from front on and side on how we approach this one. Okay,
3, 2,
so from this position
go.
you're going to slide your hands over, go over with your upper body, a little bend in the knees, almost like you're crawling into a ball, and slowly back up. It's the deliberateness of the movement that's so important. And over we go, and slowly back up again, and over we go. I think you get a better view of what I'm trying to do from this angle. Okay, and you've got one more to do within the time frame we've got today.
3, 2, 1. Rest.
Okay, and we're going to have a little rest there. We'll just wait for that to get to 10 seconds and we'll move on to the next exercise and movement, okay, which we're going to do a hip back movement. Okay, the hip back movement can involve a band or not if you haven't got one. Okay, so it's all about the movement. So I'll show you with the band and without the band how to do this movement. I'm probably better off showing you from behind. So I'm going to take my band, I'm going to take it, I'm going to put it under one foot. Okay, and all I'm going to do is hold on to my chair. Okay, on the laminate it showed you it tied to the chair, but it's very difficult to do that. So we're going to put it under there. I'm going to set the timer going. We've got 10 seconds till we start. And as I hold it onto the chair, and I'll turn sideways in a second, okay, we're going to move the hip back. But the secret is, as you come in, just come to your heel so you keep the tension into the band, and also leaning into the chair so the chair doesn't tip back. Okay. Sort of halfway through, so we're coming up to the 20-second mark. I would be changing to go to the other side, and I'll show you from this angle. From here, I'm going back, and I'm slowly coming into my heel. Back I go, into my heel. Back I go,
3, 2,
into my heel,
rest.
and we're going to rest there with that one. Okay. Again, just for the benefit, because I used the band all the way through that, because the 40 seconds went really quick, it is dead simple. No band is out and just back, but hold the weight of the leg. Don't come back to a non-weight holding position. Keep that elevated and bring that back into the toe. Okay, so I hope that was okay for you. Okay, our next movement is going to be standing on one leg. Okay, we should always have a chair there for stability. Okay, and the suggestion is, in the time frame that we're working in today, we hold for 5 seconds standing on one leg. So again, the movement, okay, would be into that position and just supporting yourself with the chair, or not if you can stand on one leg. 5 seconds, and we're going to change over. Okay, so I'm going to let the 10-second rest period run down to the 40-second start. I'm going to use the chair for stability.
3, 2, 1.
Okay, and I'm going to move on to one leg, and I'm just going to hold that position, and I'm going to change. Okay, you don't need to bang on change on 5, it's very difficult to do. But around about 5 seconds. When we move to longer times as we progress, we'll make that 8 seconds. And down we come. Up we go. And down we come. And up we go.
3, 2, 1. Rest.
And rest in there. Obviously there are different ways of standing on one leg. That is how this movement goes, but again, standing on one leg, depending on how comfortable you feel and bringing that up, we can stand like that. Okay, it's exactly the same. Doesn't put the load on as much, but it's another option.
1.
Okay. Right, knees and hips again. We're going to be looking at squats, okay, and everybody's squats are different. So just to show you, just move the chair out of the way. Okay, a squat can go down to there and back up, but it's about moving the hips and the knees. That is a squat for some people, and so is that. That little bit of movement, depending on your stiffness, your pain, okay, will determine how low you can go. And again, use the chair or use the chair for stability. So again, I've got my hands on my chair. Okay, we're going to set this going. We're going to go straight into it because I let the timer run a little bit.
Go.
Okay, and we're going to go down and back up. Again, slowly down. Eventually we'll be able to drive back up a little bit quicker, but we're controlling the movement on the way down and back up. Down we go, and pushing back up, going down nice and deliberate, back up again, focusing on your breathing too, and up we come, and you've got 3 seconds to go. We'll go down,
2, 1, rest,
and we'll finish on coming up. I'll just let this get to the 10 seconds. Okay, Hope everybody's doing well. We're going to do a back exercise now, because one of our exercises is stepping off steps, okay? Again, which we use steppers when we're out in the community doing work or in clinical settings. But everybody'd have to disappear to the steps today and or get a stepper out. So we're going to do side bends, okay? There are two ways we can do this. Okay, as the laminate showed you, it's going over, okay? But when we come across people that have got issues, whether that's broken bones and not being able to reach up, the easiest way to do it is put your hands on your side and just slide down to one side. You're still stretching the bit that we wanted to do while the arm was going over, okay? So they're the two variations on this actual exercise. So I'm going to set the timer going. Okay, and we've got 5 seconds. 3, 2, 1, and we're going to go over, or we're going to slide down and slowly back. Over we go, and back we come. Over we go, and down we come. Over we go, and down. Again, deliberateness of the exercise. Okay, you've got 10 seconds left if you can see the timer. And down we come.
3, 2, 1.
Okay, I'm going to let that run through to 10 seconds. I hope you found that one okay. I'm just going to stop the timer on 10 seconds. Okay. While I've got you, obviously we can't tell, well I can see how many viewers we've got. Just resume the live video, okay. But if you'd like to like what's being put in front of you tonight from myself, that'll give us an indication of how many people have actually watched these movements, and hopefully we'll see you all again each and every week, okay. We're going to do the leg alphabet now, okay, and I'm going to show you from the side on. Unfortunately, I don't have a physio bed, and it does say leg alphabet, but what we tend to find is that it's just easier to either do circles or to draw numbers up to 10 by just doing a 0 at the end, okay. So that's what we're going to do. So we're not doing leg alphabet, but the bit that we're working is the same as drawing the alphabet. So I'm going to turn my chair sideways, and what I'm going to do, I'm going to set the timer going. Okay, I'm going to sit forward on my chair, and I'm going to elevate my leg. So most of my leg is off the chair, okay, and I'm going to draw number 1, I'm going to draw number 2, I'm going to draw 3, and I'm doing it with my leg, not with my ankle, and I'll show you that when we do the other side. I'm going to go to 4, and we're going to go 5, and we're going to do 6, I'm going to do 7, okay. I'm going to turn round, I'm going to change my leg, okay, as again, sitting forward, I've got 10 seconds to go, there I go, I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, and this is endurance for the hip.
3,
4,
2, 1.
Okay, and I'll finish there on 5. As we go through this and we get a bit more familiar, I don't have to do as much explaining, hopefully. We'll be able to cut that down and do a little bit more. Okay, we're going to finish our knee and hip with a couple of back exercises in the 10 that we've done. We're going to go with hip out. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to change and turn my chair round so you can see me from behind. So as I turn my chair, okay, I'm going to take my band. The secret to this, again, it shows you on the laminate a little bit differently to the way that we do it, okay, because it's attached to the bottom of the chair, which is very difficult to do and to get your footing in the time scales provided. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to go under my right foot, but I'm going to take it in my left hand Okay, and as you'll see through my legs, you'll see I'm doing opposites. Okay, and I'm going to go out to the side and bring it back into the chair leg, so I'm holding out there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to set the timer going. You can also do this movement without the band. Okay, so we're going to go, you're going to move out to the side to your level, bring it back into the chair leg, out you go, back to the chair leg. And again, this is endurance for your hip. Keep that going. We're coming up to the halfway mark of the 40 seconds. Okay, and all we're going to do is we're going to change over to the opposite side. So again, I'll turn it down that way. You can see I've got it opposite side. So I'm going out and back in. Out I go.
3,
Back
2,
in.
1.
Out we go.
Done.
And we're resting there. Okay, we've just done 10 knee and hip movements with a couple of back ones thrown in, just because of equipment and the areas that I'm aware you guys will be working in. And what we will do next is we're going to do some back exercises. So if you need to grab yourself a drink, give yourself a minute or two's rest. If you need to go, grab yourself a drink or do anything, and we'll come back to this in a minute or two. Okay, if anybody wants to leave any comments, feel free to. Okay, and that's great. We'll be back to you in a second. I'm just going to check if this lady has managed to get onto the live feed. Okay, let's have a look, see if she's on. I'll just copy and paste her into the message that I've been sent. Okay, while we're having a rest, obviously I'm aware that it's that a lot of people are very hesitant in moving when we've got pain, but these exercises are done at your pace. Okay, the gentle exercises, and over time you become stronger, you become more pain free, and it is about the continuation of them. Obviously, coming to these classes or any other classes you can access through Rethinking Pain will just benefit you long term, and obviously coming across people from that have got the same issues, because pain is a very lonely place. So meeting other people that have been in that same situation and being able to share those problems that you have is also really, really good. So we're going to move on and we're going to do our back exercises. Okay, so I'm going to go back onto the timer, get us back in, and what did I do with the laminates? Here we go. Okay, so our first back exercise is going to be pelvic rotation. Okay, so it's hands on your hips, going round in big circles. Okay, so got a 10-second counting. I'm going to put my hands on my hips. I'll do this face onto you and I'll turn sideways halfway through. Okay, and we're going to get going. So we're going to have some circles. We're pushing out and round. Okay, and as I said, you'll come across some of these. We'll have done these twice tonight on the back of the fact that we've not got space or equipment. Again, change direction with those rotations. Okay, and as we're coming up to the 20 seconds, I'm just going to move to the side and we're going to go round. Again, nice and slow, nice and deliberate. Okay, back, round we go.
3,
And we're going to rest that one there. Okay, well done. Okay, our next exercise is just going to be rotations, which is an upper body movement. I'll come and show you the laminate. Okay, this is the movement that we're going to do. Okay, so that's him in the turned position. We're going to obviously start facing forward, everything looking ahead. Okay, so from this position, two ways we can do it. We can put our hands across and turn. Okay, or we can put our arm across, that one behind, and pull yourself round. Okay, the beauty about doing this one is you can use the opposite hand that's at the elbow to be able to take yourself round that little bit further. Okay, so we'll get the timer going. Okay, and we've got a countdown of 3, 2, 1. So I'm going to put the arm across. I'm going to do that. I'll pull round. I'm just going to hold at my convenience. Again, if you're doing these on your own, or even if you're doing them at home, I'm going to come back down to the centre. And I'm going to go to the opposite side. And I'm just using that little bit of pressure on my elbow to turn myself a bit further. And back down. And the opposite side. Again, focusing on your breathing. And back down we come. And turning.
3.
And
2,
back down we come.
1.
And we'll rest that one there. Okay. The next one, we can use a band. Again, if you've got one, great. If you haven't, what we'll do is we'll mimic what's going on here. But we've got an upper body strengthening exercise. And in my community groups, we call this Ski Sunday for some reason. All these look like he's skiing. Okay, so if you can see that position that the guy's in. And what he's trying to do there is he's taking his elbows back and squeezing his shoulder blades. Okay, so I'm going to do it without the band. Well, I'll do it with the band and without. So take the band, it goes under both feet. I'm going to set the timer going and change halfway through. I'm going to be in that position.
3, 2,
okay,
1.
And I'm pulling my elbows back, keeping them nice and tight. Back we go. And if you can see me, I'm going to try and go to the back so you can see the arms coming back. Okay, so if I turn to put my back towards you, I'm pushing back, keeping the arms. And a lot of people will go out there trying to keep nice and tight. So we're squeezing those shoulder blades in. Okay, and in the last 10 seconds without the band, okay, you're just squeezing. So you're just using the own weight of your arms and the force backwards
1.
of making that movement. Okay, well done. Hope everybody's okay with that. Okay, we'll stop the timer on 10 seconds there before we do the next one. We're going to look at lower back strengthening next. Okay, so you can see there he's stood up upright and he's rolling, he's going over into a ball. Again, this is a filler in that we did in the first round because we couldn't do the shuttle walk. That's why we're repeating it again. Okay, so the 10 seconds is off and running. We've got 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I'm going to put my hands on my thighs, on the outside of my thighs. I'm going over, and again, I'm trying to get into that ball. And I'm slowly coming up. There is a sat down version of this which will come across shortly. Over we go. And back up we come. And we're going to go over. And we're going to slowly come back up. And over we go. And slowly up we come.
3.
Okay, and we're going to rest that there. Okay, we'll let the timer run itself down. We're going to be looking at doing a press up against the wall. I'll just stick that about 10 seconds. Okay, so again, this is the variation that we've got from wall slide. So again, I'm going to use the fridge freezer or the wall, okay, to do the press up. Okay, so and again, it's done at your own time. You can see actually that the guy stood quite a long way off the wall. Okay, not advisable to start with. Let's just not run before we can walk, and we'll not stand that far off the wall just yet. Okay, so we'll get that one going. Okay, and we've got the 10-second counter going. So I'm going up to my shoulder height. Okay.
3, 2, 1.
Okay, and I'm gently going in, almost touching the wall or the door, and just pushing my own body weight back up, and we're looking at working and strengthening that upper back. Again, focusing on that breathing. So you're halfway through, and back up. Down we go. And back up. We've got 10 seconds to do. And you've got 5, 4, 3, 2,
Rest.
1. And we're going to rest there. We'll run that timer up to the 10 seconds. Okay. We're going to do, again, lower back strengthening. This can be done with a band or can be mimicked without a band. Okay, so it's like a deadlift as such if you've ever been in the gym. You're just pulling up with straight arms. As you can see there, his arms are straight and he's pulling up straight. Okay, so I'm going to show you with the band. I'll show you from face on and from side on. So we'll get that going. 10 seconds are off for the countdown, so it's going under both feet.
3,
Move back a little bit.
2, 1.
Okay, I've got good tension in the band. I'm over there and I'm standing up straight. I'm controlling the movement on the way down, so I'm taking the band back down slowly and back up I come. What a lot of people do is let the band pull them down quickly, do it slowly. Up we come. And down we go. And as we move into the last 20 seconds, okay, I'm going over and I'm pulling straight back up, almost like I'm trying to push my shoulders back. Over I go. It's that control on the way down and back up.
3, 2,
and we're controlling.
Rest.
And just finish on coming back up. Well done if you managed to do that one. Stop that with 13 seconds to go. Okay, when we do our back strengthening exercises, lower back strengthening, we've just done the one stood up where we went all the way over. Again, if you do struggle with your balance, okay, sit down and do it. Okay, and like I said, if any of you are flagging a little bit and finding it hard, then there's no point, there's no problem in resting, because the rest is just as important, and you'll build up your stamina and your resilience to these movements if you keep doing these over a time span. Okay, so we're going to do lower back strengthening, and again I'll show you from side on, as you can see there, but I'll also show you from face on, and I'll start with face on this first exercise. Okay, 10 seconds to go. I'm going to take my seat, put my hands just by my knees.
3,
I'm going to sit forward as well,
1.
straight spine, and I'm going to go over with the upper body and slowly back up. I'm off over again, and we're going to slowly go back up, and over we go, and slowly back up. And while we've got a few seconds left from the side on position, it's just over. Slowly up,
3,
and over we go.
1. Rest.
and I'm just going to finish off by coming back up there just to complete that set of movements. Okay, well done everybody. Okay, we're going to do an exercise that we've done on a movement that we did. Again, just covering the fact that we've not got steppers or people dashing off to use the steps. So we're going to do the back stretch again. Thank you for everybody who has, I've got a couple of comments, 12 likes, so thank you very much. That helps us with the number of people. And thank you for your comments from Alicia, or Mandy as I know you, and Emma. Thank you so much. Okay, so leaning backwards. Okay, we've got 10 seconds. Again, it is advisable again to do this up against the wall, just in case you do lose your balance, okay? Alright, so from here, I'm arching my back. And I'm coming back. I will show you from side on against the fridge freezer door. And I'm arching back. As I'm coming forward, I can almost do the opposite. Back up I come, and turning. And back we go. So if I'm going to do it up against the fridge door, okay, you can see here the arch, almost like I'm trying to touch my head, and I'm coming back, leaning forward, so I'm going the opposite way.
3,
back I go.
2, 1, rest.
And we'll rest there. So well done guys. Okay, let's get this to 10 seconds. Okay. So we started with sit to stand. We're going to finish with a sit to stand. That was the original one we did, and if you look at that laminate there, okay, what we've basically got is the guy's actually sitting in the chair, he's taking the weight off his body and he's driving up from the seat. Okay, the one that you guys are going to do now, okay, is you're going to hover. Okay, so it's almost like a squat. So I'll show you from the side first, okay, and then I'll do it face on, because you'll get to see, I'm just trying to get the backs of my tracksuit bottoms to touch the fabric of the chair, rather than actually take the load off, so you're under load of your own body whilst we're doing this exercise. Okay, so I'll turn the chair around. Okay, we'll get the timer going. Okay, so I'm going to start in an upright position.
3, 2, 1,
and I'm going down.
go.
And I'm just, as soon as I feel it, I'm coming back up. The chair's there if the knees can't take it, that you can just sit down, take the weight off. The other version of this as well is you can just repeat the sit to stand. Okay, if you can't do that, okay, then there's no problem with you just going down and doing what you did in the knees and hips. The only thing we're doing here is we're holding from the back,
3,
up,
2, 1,
and down.
rest.
Okay, okay everybody, I'll just let this get to its conclusion. Hope everybody's found that okay. There are a few other stretching exercises that we can do. There are a couple of other things that we can do with bands. We've not covered
3,
a great deal
1,
with
go.
stop that. We've not covered a great deal around the shoulders. Okay, but they are all band orientated movements that we do. Okay, so a lot of people have arthritic fingers. One of the things you can do with your band, okay, is or a dishcloth or a sponge. I've got a sponge here, I don't know whether it's wet, make sure I've washed up. Okay, is I can have one in each hand and I can squeeze the sponge. The bigger the sponge, the better, but what I tend to do is use the latex bands. So I'm going to roll it up like it's a dishcloth. Okay, I'm going to have it out in front of me, okay, and I'm going to squeeze the band as tight as I can, okay, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to extend my fingers and stretch them out, Okay, I'd do 3 of those, squeezing again really tight and extending my fingers. I'll just do the 2, okay, and I'm going to squeeze this time and I'm going to push my hands down and I'm going to extend my fingers to the floor. So we'll do 2 of those, or I will, okay, and we're going down, fingers down, and then what we do from there is we just twist back, if you can see, from there, twist back towards the chest. The way to do this, if you've not got a band or you've not got a sponge, and I've even got a dishcloth, okay, is just squeeze. Squeeze as tight as you can, make as tight a fist as you can, and extend the fingers. Okay, it's maybe not, you've not got that squeeze on something, but you're still squeezing and you're still extending those fingers, and then you would move it down and extend those fingers going that way. Okay, and a couple of other exercises that you can do around your chair, and I'm not so sure, I just need to move this down a little bit so you can see my lower body. Okay, so get my head out of the way. Okay, holding onto the chair. Okay, my feet reasonably wide apart. Okay, so again from the back, you'll see the position that I'm in. Okay, and what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to go up on my toes. And I'm going to slowly come down. So as I turn this to the side, holding onto the chair, up onto the toes, slowly lowering back down. Up we come, and slowly lowering. Up we come. We tend to do 8 of these. Up we go. We've got 3 to do. And down we come. We're going to go 1 more. And up. So we're working the ball of the foot, the back of the leg. Okay. Again, in that same position. This time we're going to rock back onto the heels. So hold onto the chair. Just go back on your heels. Place the foot on the floor. Go back on your heels. And back down to the floor. Back down on your heels. And down we go. We'll just do 2 more of these. Just giving you some ideas that you can do, but we will cover these in, week out. Okay, and we'll stop what on there. If anybody wants to go get a drink, I'll give you a minute and then we'll come back and we'll do some more stretching exercises. I'll show you some band exercises or even some seated exercises without the bands. You do them with the bands or without the bands. I'm just going to go grab a drink. So I'll give you a minute to get some refreshments. Okay guys, okay, couple of stretching exercises for you, okay, hands on the chair, okay, this time you're just going to go back, okay, lean forward, hold on to the chair again, you're putting the load through the lean on the front leg, but also stretching the calf muscle at the back. Just going to walk up out of that one and stretch back. We'll do 3 on each side. Just hold that again, focusing on your breathing. Hold that stretch, you'll feel it really tight and it starts to loosen off. Okay, and withstand it. And hopefully over time or constant stretching, you get to go that little bit further. Okay, and we'll walk that up. Be careful on the laminate floor because my chair's moving. Okay, so be careful that you don't rely too much on leaning into the chair and find yourself shooting forward. Again, the way you could do this is you could put the chair up against the wall and back up we come. Do one more on this side. And we'll come back up and we'll stretch that out again. Okay, and we'll walk that one up. Okay, I'm going to show you a couple of seated exercises again. If you've not got a band, you could use a towel, okay, but just to show you some of the things that I've used other than those laminates over time. Okay, and again I'll show you this one from the side on. So with my band or the towel, or without the towel, to be honest with you, you don't need the towel. Again, it's all to do with the hip, the knee and the ankle. As I sit forward from this seated position, I'm going to lift up from my hip, I'm going to push out from my knee, I'm going to rotate my ankle, and I'm going to go back the opposite way twice, then I'm going to come back with the knee and I'm going to press to the floor for one. I'm going to do 4 of these, okay? So we're going to come up from the hip, push out from the knee, rotate, twice in one direction, twice in the opposite direction. We're going to bring the knee back, I'm going to place it to the floor. So I've got 2 more to do on this side. Up we come, push that out, rotate, bring that back and press to the floor. Okay, we're going to do the last one on this side. Up we come, out you go, rotating, and back you go. Back you come and put that to the floor. You'll find there's the endurance around the hip area. Okay, I'm going to show you the next one from the band. You add a little bit of resistance in. Okay, so again we're going under the foot, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to try, it's like I'm stamping on the band and keeping it on the floor, and again I'm sitting forward, so I'm pulling up the band here, so I've got it rested pretty much around the top of my thighs. Okay, and I'm going to let the resistance out of the band, push against the band. Whilst I'm under tension with the band, I'm going to rotate one way twice, I'm going to come back the other way twice. I'm going to bring that back and I'm going to push it down. Again, you can use a towel if you roll it up. Up we come, but the bands are better. Out you go, rotating and then rotating back the other way. We're going to bring that up and press that down. Up we come, out we go, rotate and rotate. Again, up and down. I've got 1 to do. Up we come, out we go, rotating and rotating again. And that's a nice, easy seated exercise that we can do. Again, for the shoulders and for the arms. Just have a little look at the time. We've got left. Okay. Finish off with a couple of shoulder related exercises, and again I'll show you these from side on. I'm going to take the band, and again you don't need the band, you can sit in your chair, so it's pretty easy to mimic. You're just going to rest your hand on your knee, just going to come up to shoulder height. So again you're using the weight of your arm, so just come up to shoulder height. If we use the band, I'm going to put the band under my foot, same hand, same foot. I'm going to get the tension that I want, I'm going to bring it up and I'm going to bring it down. And the secret with these bands is the longer the band is, the less tension, so don't try and make it too short and outdo yourself and hurt yourself. So I'm just going to do 4 on one side, and then what I do is I keep the same foot. I'm going to swap hands, and this time I'm going to pull across and I'm coming down. Across I go, and across, and across I go. Okay, then what I do is swap feet, but I'd also swap hands because I've just worked this one. Okay, I'm going to start by pulling across and coming back for 1, pulling across, back for 2, 3, 4, and number 5. I said 4, didn't I? Can't count tonight, sorry. Back to this position. I'm going to go up to the shoulder, back down, up we come. I'm not used to doing 8. Up we come. And up we come. So there's just a couple of different things in there other than the laminates that we've used and the movement exercises. I hope you found that helpful. Thank you, Rachel, for your comments. Let's have a little look. Thank you, everybody, for those 12 people that have liked and the 4 comments that we've had. If anybody would like to say anything else, then feel free to do so in the next 5 minutes. One thing you need to just bear in mind, if this is the first time you've done any movement or any exercise, you might find, because it's been very, very targeted around the knees, the hips and the backs, that you might feel a little bit of muscle stiffness. Okay, so again, sitting down, especially if it's with the knees and the hips, elevating that leg or the legs, okay, making sure if there's anything you need to take, ice to help with that any swelling that occurs. And if it becomes too unbearable, then obviously go seek medical advice. But hopefully these are all functional movements that we tend to make day in, day out. So yeah, it'd be good if we could see any comments or who's still on the call, who's been referred in by Rethinking Pain, or you've joined us through an advert. It's always good to be able to feed back. Obviously, Rethinking Pain, as you can see from my shirt, and who have asked me to deliver this on their behalf tonight. There are more help, hints and tips on their movement matters, and that's not just movements as in exercises, a holistic approach to being able to manage your pain, basically. Again, being with other people, I find is really good, obviously face to face. You know, we can't do that unfortunately on this one, but I hope that you've enjoyed that tonight. Thank you, Jessica. I'm just reading your comment there. Oh, thank you, Judith, through the Rethinking Pain. Jessica, thank you. I can't access Rethinking Pain, so I know we'll do this. Is a great time. Yeah, that's great. It was one of the considerations when they asked me to do it, was to maybe do it just that touch later than 6 till 7. I think 7 till 8 works for a lot of people. So that's great. I'm glad you've been able to access that, Jessica. And Judith, thank you for your comments. We've just about completed today. I do apologise. We've had a few issues with my MacBook over the last 24 hours. So again, I'd like to thank Richard at the Rethinking Pain team and the technical department for getting me up and running. But we did have a bit of a glitch right at the 5 minutes to. I wish I'd have started it a little bit earlier, but 5 minutes to I couldn't get couldn't get an online live, so we managed to do it. And again, I really appreciate you guys that have joined me tonight, and hopefully we'll be able to see you next week. If you need to get in touch with me, you can get in touch with me through the Rethinking Pain team. I'll give you my details a little bit later on throughout the programme if you need to speak to me personally. The one thing I do like to do as well, and I've not done it tonight, and there's a couple of people that have commented and have been on tonight that come to some of my community-based classes, I do like to stick some music on, okay, because what I tend to find is you'll be singing to yourself unless you've got music on at home. But we'll bring that in over a period of time. It's important tonight not to have that disruption in the background. And what we'll end up doing is we'll follow a pattern of exercises. So you'll pretty much know what's coming. When I tell you it's sit to stand, you'll know what to do, or that arching of the back, as everybody in my sessions out in the community, once they've done 3 or 4 sessions, they know exactly what they're doing. Thank you again very much for your time and for your comments tonight and your likes. I think we've got 13 people on, which is great tonight. That's quite happy with that for the first night. And if you know anybody who might benefit from not just this online class, but the other classes that are delivered by myself and other pain management sessions that are run through Rethinking Pain, then please don't hesitate to get in touch with us. If anybody's got any more comments, you've got 30 seconds. So well done. I hope it's been okay. I hope you found the space in your home to be able to deliver this, or to be able to do this, sorry. It can be done in a reasonably confined space, but again, like I said, just be aware of what you've got on your feet, and again, whatever you've got on your feet, the chairs do slip if they're on some form of laminate or tiled flooring, so just be very, very careful of that. So just make sure you've got shoes on and aware of that. Thank you very much. I'm going to sign off now. Enjoy the rest of your evening, enjoy the rest of your week. For those that I'll see in the community sessions for the rest of the week, and there's a few of you on here, look forward to seeing you tomorrow, Thursday and Friday. And for the rest of you, look forward to seeing you all next Tuesday evening. Thank you very much for your time. See you later. All the best.